It's Gigi again with part two on how I killed myself by not pooping on accident. But let's get started again. I ended up cutting off my video, guys, last time because I have five dogs. I have five very loud, very boisterous dogs, and we live in the country, and we have a lot of livestock, and not big livestock, geese, chickens, ducks, things like that. And so our dogs can be extraordinarily loud, and that's what dogs are supposed to do. They're like little alarms. And I love them for it, but it makes it hard to be heard when I'm talking on here. So sorry about that. Anywho, like I said, I'm neurodivergent, and I also have dissociative identity disorder, as a result of a lot of severe other trauma. But this trauma, this what I want to talk about. I keep going off on tangents today. It's just about poop, which is, gosh, if you knew how hard it was for me to say that words for years, you'd know how difficult this conversation actually really is for me. I've always had a problem with it. But so um about about a month ago it got really bad. Like I said, I was throwing up every day. I couldn't get any food down. And for the life of me, it wasn't correlating in my head that I wasn't actually evacuating my bowel still. You get me? That's how crazy it was. I was still thinking that just because I was having some loose stool, that I was going potty and I was going to the bathroom, but I wasn't really evacuating my bowels. What was going on was I was starting to suffer from fecal impaction. Fecal impaction happens when you start to have with when you withhold going to the bathroom, or in my case don't know that you have to go to the bathroom, or the signals in your brain are all screwy because of the stuff that you've gone through in your life. You can end up with fecal impaction. That's when you have all this dry fecal matter stuck in your colon, just all the way in there. And it's a life or death situation. You pooping is not an option. I've always thought of it as an optional activity, and that doesn't make me not intelligent or slow. It just means that somebody should have taken some time to explain some things to me as a kid, so I wouldn't have been trying to raise myself. And being on the spectrum with DID and PTSD, raised in the crap epic with no mom and a abusive dad. I mean, shoot, my mom shot me in the face when I was 3, and the bullet went in through here and came out through here. So if the biggest thing that came out of this is some DID and I don't know how to poop, hey, I think I won. I'm still alive. So I know I've been going all the way around it, and I'm not going to re-record this because this is me being genuinely who I am and honest and rambling. I got to the point where I was sitting there, I'd taken gas X because I really thought it was just gas. Still hadn't dawned on me that my input to output ratio wasn't working out. And also, the last time I had a blood test a few years ago, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't know, when I finally when I was forced to go do a checkup for the VA, they found that I was suffering from malnutrition. And they nobody's really doing anything about it. um my last doctor ordered a lot of tests for me last time because he thinks I'm suffering also from gastroparesis, which we're pretty sure I'm suffering from. Gastroparesis is when your stomach has when you have a difficult problem time with getting things moving and digesting. um it's nothing. I digest food really slow, and I can actually feel my food as it digests. I can and if you can't feel digestion, that's a blessing. You're not supposed to be able to feel your food digest. It's a very, very painful process. Usually happens when you sleep. A lot of gases are created. It feels horrifying. I can feel all that. I sat down and talked to my husband because I didn't want to go to the emergency room, and I thought for sure I was full of gas. And somehow we got onto the subject of pooping. And then I really, 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 really thought back to the last time I'd had a significant bowel movement. And I realized that in my entire 46 years, I'd never taken time to look at my bowel health, at my poop health, because I've always found it so disgusting. Because I always found the bathroom so disgusting and so disturbing to deal with because of all the trauma surrounding it. That I, in turn, was traumatizing my body by not fully evacuating my bladder or my bowels going when I went to the bathroom. I pushed out what I could push out as fast as I could, and I got out of there. Childhood trauma sticks with you as much as you try to heal from it and you work through it. It sticks with you. And for me, I didn't find out. I wasn't diagnosed with my DID until 3 years ago. And so I was walking around here with dissociative identity disorder for decades. And yeah, most people would go to a doctor when they lose time like that or go see an emergency room. I'd grown accustomed to it, I guess. Sometimes you can grow accustomed to a pain, a familiar pain for so long that it doesn't feel like pain. It just feels like the way it is. And me constantly being full, me constantly throwing up, it was just the way it is. I always felt like that's just the way my body is. Your body shouldn't work like that. So, I took Gas X at first. Gas X wasn't doing anything. My husband and I had that conversation around poop. And I finally realized for my entire life, I have not been pooping right. And then I thought back to when we were in the military. And there was one time I finally went to the ER because I had a pain like this. I remember the pain. I went to the ER in the military. I couldn't have been more than 20, 21. And they diagnosed me. They did a CT scan, X-ray stuff in my tummy, and they diagnosed me with FOS. Anybody who's ever been in the military, highest pickle. If you didn't notice a personality change, that's okay. You're not supposed to. I've been doing it for years seamlessly in order to make it seem like we're not weird or nothing big has happened with us. And so most people, unless you really know us, don't know when we have a personality change. Like you've been talking to Gigi, now you're talking to Pickle about poop. So let's get started again. Where were we? Okay, so let me think, because sometimes I have to go and rewind and catch myself up with whatever you guys were talking about. Yeah. So yeah, like so we realized we weren't going to the bathroom. And we started researching, and fecal impaction is very, very, very dangerous. It could cause sepsis. It could cause you to perforate your bowels. It has to come out. You have to get the poop out. Everybody has to poop. Um, I knew that if I went to a hospital that I was going to be admitted. Either admitted or shamed or laughed at like I was before. Because I remember I went to a hospital after I tried to kill myself with by drinking a lot and taking a lot of pills, and the doctor said that I was faking trying to kill myself. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, a lot of trauma around going to the doctor. So I would have rather sat at home and balled up and curled and died full of poop than go see an American doctor to tell me that I needed to stay in a hospital or there was nothing wrong with me and it was all in my head. Or just to be called more bad names and laughed at. Or to have memories of being cut open in surgery because you didn't get gassed right. Lots of reasons. So if you ever look at me and say, oh my God, you didn't poop for, you had pooping problems that were severe for at least a month that you can pinpoint, and you didn't go to the doctor, don't point your finger at me. I've gone to the doctor several times. They told me they don't want that there. And like Confucius said, you should never go where you're not wanted or stay where you're not wanted. And I'm definitely not wanted in doctor's offices. It's Gigi. I don't like Pickle dealing with this. Anyway, so back to Gigi. Like we said, so we weren't going to the doctor. The only thing that would have forced me going to the doctor was passing out and having my husband make me go. And so this is when we decided that it was time to take some we decided to go with bisacodyl. Bisacodyl is very hydrating to the colon. It adds water to the colon. At the same time, it's a stool softener. At the same time, we also decided to throw some magnesium 7 at it at the same time. Magnesium 7 is like it aerates the stomach, kind of aerates things to break things up, and it's supposed to get things pushed down. Well, the problem with the first few days is that I was so packed full of toxins and poop. I threw up the Mag 7, that foamy stuff that goes down to supposed to push it down. Yeah, I couldn't even keep that down. I laid there and I thought I was not going to make it. There was one time that I actually called the clinic to see if I could see my doctor, and they were like, "We don't have an X-ray machine for that. You need to go to the emergency or an urgent care." And I have always lived my life on the edge ever since I realized what the American healthcare system was like. And if I know that, the thing is, I don't know how I'm going to go to be treated when I go to a doctor, so I just don't go. Let's not talk about here. Let's not sit here and blame. There's no reason to blame. I didn't go. So my husband helped me, and that day we took a back massager, one of those things with a knob on it, like, and then we put it into my back, and we let the massager go into my back, beat me all around the back. I did the poop massage for my stomach. I laid on and cried. Unless you've known what it's like to not go to the bathroom for a very, very long time, you won't know that pain. I remember the third day finally feeling something break in there, and I felt a solid mass of something moving through the lines of my intestine, scratching as it went. I was definitely suffering from fecal impaction, and I was definitely suffering to the point where it could have been deadly to my health. I'm happy that we caught it in time before it was. That we finally realized that the pit of my problem was that I hadn't pooped. And a lot of us don't have the signals, the sensation, the reasoning in our head to figure out that sometimes what's going wrong with us can be something so small until it becomes something huge that we can't ignore. I I fasted. I pretty much went on a clean fast for a week. I mean, the first week I tried to eat some cucumbers, and I threw up the cucumbers. That first time I tried to really eat something, and so I was just drinking water and taking stool softeners. I pooped for 8 days. I started. This is all very recent that I'm feeling a bit better. I wish I could have showed you guys a picture of my stomach then, but this is a picture of my stomach now. Like, that's my scar from my surgery with I had to have my gallbladder removed, but my stomach was quite swollen. I will go back and see if I can find a picture of it then, because I'm pretty sure I have one of me sitting down with my stomach still with the swelling, but it's down. I pooped I started this journey not this Sunday before, but the Sunday before that. So today's Wednesday. It's been 10 days of I was on a full fast for like the first 5 days, and then a partial fast thereafter where I allow myself to have some cucumbers. And then later on down the line, I let myself have like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And very, very diced, I haven't eaten in the last 10 days. I'd say I've eaten the equivalent of 3 meals, 3 whole meals. And it wasn't because I haven't been hungry. Um, Partially that is also was because I was full of poop. I I'm still not done yet. I did not know a human body could hold that much poop. I started pooping on Sunday, and I've lived in the bathroom. I've had to be consistent with taking the stool softeners, or I won't go. Everything was so hard. Everything in there was so hard that when I tell you it felt like rocks moving through my intestines, it was like rocks moving through my intestines. I could have died simply because I didn't remember to poop. Yes, autism presents itself differently in everyone. Neurodivergence is a whole spicy salad of different things. And honey, I have so much spice in my salad. I'm a very spicy salad. I said this because I don't want anybody else to go through what I am going through, what I went through. Also, Miralax. I have to drink me some Miralax today because, guys, I'm still swollen at the bottom of my stomach. And no, I'm not going to go to the hospital. Anybody who recommends the hospital, I know I thank you for your recommendations and thank you for your worries and your concern, but what I think I've pretty much taken care of a lot of the problem me and my husband have at home. We've been drinking them. I drank Miralax and my gastroparesis. That's something I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life. Am I gonna keep going to doctors and specialists and different things like that to figure out what's wrong with my stomach? No. What I'm going to do is continue to meditate, have faith, try to eat better, and start trying to figure out what my body's telling me when things are in pain or when something hurts, something aches, something feels weird. I have to learn how to have my brain and body working in tandem again to where I understand the signals. I am just a child in this body. We may be 46 and a whole adult, but we were never raised. Everything that we've ever come up with on how to prepare ourselves from lives has been pulled out of thin air or inspiration from others that we've known. We did not have a nurturing, loving, safe place. We found that safe place deep within ourselves, in our dreams and on the astral plane, while we were being victimized in some of the most brutal ways as a child. So to all the other people like us, I'm here to tell you you're not alone. If you don't know you're hungry, one of the best things you can do is make a food schedule. For those of you who have problems surrounding the bathroom, it's time to start a poop journal. There's nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely wonderful just the way you are. And I think you're special too. I love you. And until we meet again to talk about all the wonderful things that make me me, goodbye. Ita. Aseo. Oh, and I can't wait to find out the wonderful things that make you you too.